Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Resort review. Today we're back at Walt Disney World checking out the Art of Animation Resort. I had a one-night stay here in the Little Mermaid section, so we're going to give you a full tour of a room in there. It's the only room left over from when this was going to be a part of the Pop Century Resort. So those rooms are going to be the smallest here on property. Most of the other sections are going to be suites. So we're going to give you a full tour of the Cars section, as well as the Finding Nemo section, the Lion King section, and then finally the Little Mermaid section. Thanks for finding the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing or at least liking this video. It really helps me out. So we're going to start our tour here right where you would drop off your luggage and then go and self-park. This is going to be the main check-in area for the resort. I absolutely love the Art of Animation Resort. I love the theme. It is a value resort, but it's a little bit more upscale than all of the all-star resorts. I love all of the activities that they have on property. More on that in a bit. But there's lots of sketches on the wall from all of the character designs for some of your favorite characters here, all represented at the resort through the different sections that you might be able to stay in. And then this beautiful check-in area with all the colors of the artist palette. I just absolutely love this spot. Of course, this being a Disney resort, there is a small section for the kids to watch some cartoons. And because it's Cool Kids Summer here in the summer of 2025, there's a small lending library with some books to entertain folks as they wait. I did have a little bit of a line when I needed to deal with something at the front desk, so it's good to have that to entertain folks. This is also the only resort that has a Play Disney game, so you can earn some badges in the app there, and it involves some of these sketches on the wall. So definitely play that if you're trying to kill some time here at the resort, or maybe it's a non-park day and you're just enjoying the pools and doing stuff around Art of Animation. So pretty fun stuff there. And then to the left here, very on theme, you can get a cartoon, a little caricature made of you. And then this is the main foyer, I guess. Love this chandelier with all the sketch art here and a little skylight, letting in some natural light. Love that design note. And so, of course, with all these resorts, there is a gift shop. And so the ink and paint shop is the very nicely themed shop here on property, very large. I did notice that the buses let out right here and you have to kind of walk through the shop to get to where you need to go. So that's very smart of Disney, of course, thinking of everything, but a ink and paint design, as you can probably tell by the name and all the paint above the merchandise here, but very brightly colored shop and everything that you could ever want for Disney merchandise. A lot of the same stuff that's in the parks, and then some Art of Animation specific items in here as well. And now a word about our partner for today's video.
If you're like me, you're worried about medical coverage when you travel abroad. When something goes wrong when you're away from home, having the right travel medical insurance policy can be both a time and money saver. That's why for this video, I partnered with Safety Wing. They offer the Nomad Insurance Essential Plan that fits my needs perfectly when I'm outside the US. It even offers coverage for trip delays, lost checked luggage, and even stolen passports. The best part is you can sign up at any point during your travels and cancel at any time. If you're interested, please use the link down below or scan the QR code. If you do end up using the link or QR code, there's no extra cost to you, but it does really support the channel.
Moving on with our tour, Landscape of Flavors is Art of Animation's main food court. Lots of grab-and-go items here. Plenty of seating available as well, also themed to the various sections at the resort. So I love the continuation of the theme here. You have Lion King right as you walk in from the ink and paint shop, and then Finding Nemo across the way. And the Landscape of Flavors is going to be open from 7 a.m. in the morning until 11 p.m. at night. It's going to serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there's going to be a lot of to-go items that are available in the fridges, including alcohol. You can also find some alcohol at the pool bar. We'll show you that in just a bit. But a lot of fun art throughout the seating areas here. And then for breakfast, I did love that the character waffles aren't Mickey waffles here. They're actually all of the characters from the various sections as well. So you can get a Finding Dory waffle. I love that. Pretty much all the stands for breakfast have the same menu. There's a few items that are a little different, and then you have some pastry items and coffee and things like that. The market is the small grab and go area, and then you can also pick up refillable mugs here. So for the length of your stay, you can pay one set price for that mug, and then you can refill with sodas or coffee or anything like that, just anything from those machines. But just note that it only works here at the Art of Animation, doesn't work in the theme parks or any of the other resorts. So just keep that in mind. Love all of the different themed desserts in here. The Whoopie Monster was a fun one. And I know my kid would have absolutely freaked out for the Finding Nemo little tartlet there, little cupcake action themed to the Little Mermaid, and a little Simba cake as well. So delicious items here. Some more finished art outside of the ink and paint shop, and then across the way is going to be the Pixel Play Arcade. The Pixel Play Arcade, it's going to have paid arcade games, some pinball machines, various arcade games themed to Disney and non-Disney properties. Though I've noticed that they've really tried to focus on Disney properties, keeping it on brand and synergized, which is always great. So a nice massive arcade here for everyone to enjoy on some of those non-park days. It's also air conditioned, which was very important on this August tour that I take you on right now. So now let's explore outside. So we are arranged across the lake from Pop Century. The lake is called the Hourglass Lake. It was named that because this resort was originally supposed to be part of Pop Century and themed to the first part of the 20th century. And then 9/11 happened, and a lot of these buildings actually sat vacant for over a decade. And they finally finished the property, and I'm glad that they did because this theme seems to me more of a fit for the overall Disney brand, a lot more fun. And I can just tell from walking around here and all the families here that all of the kids, young and old, absolutely love it. So we're going to explore the Cars section first. Love the theming here. I just noticed walking over to the Cars section, though, that the plants, as you make your way over to the Finding Nemo section, kind of makes it feel like you're at a coral reef. Love the attention to detail. That's why I love staying at Disney properties. But the Ornament Valley billboard welcomes you. Pretty square buildings, but they really dress them up very nicely. They paint them to the appropriate themes. Then you have big Cars figures, very similar to what you might see over at Cars Land at Disney's California Adventure. But I love all of the figures here. Everyone was stopping to take lots of photos with them. So over here is Doc, of course, the sheriff that teaches Lightning McQueen a lesson in the film. So it's nice to see him represented here, and he is underneath a billboard for Radiator Springs, covering up the hotel building. And as you make your way down the road here, you can notice I love all of the road signs, makes you feel like you're actually driving. You have some telephone wires above. Those don't do anything except for just add to the theme, which is great, and of course light the path at night. And it finishes up in the middle of all three of the buildings in this section at the Cozy Cone Motel, which is based off of a real motel that I've actually stayed at in Holbrook, Arizona. It's themed to teepees, but in the Cars universe, it's themed to road cones, traffic cones, which is great. And this actually hides some restrooms as well as the laundry facilities for this section. So we're going to go check out a few more of the famous cars here. Ramon over here to the right, and then go explore the pool area. I love all of the fake merchandise here in the windows at the Cozy Cone Motel. As I said, the laundromat is hidden in the Cozy Cone Motel, and it costs $3.25 for a wash, and then $3.25 for a dry cycle, and then detergent's about $1. So pretty reasonably priced for a hotel, and lots of machines because there's a lot of folks that can stay here. And each section has a laundromat, so it's very nice and convenient for everyone. Then they have a lot of little photo stops, and then areas that are just themed as you walk into the main room complex. And very notable for value resorts here at Disney is that 3 of the 4 sections are actually interior hallways. All-Star resorts are all outdoors, and the Little Mermaid section here is outdoors as well. I love Fillmore's Fuel over here. The very fun Cozy Cone pool. So themed to the Cozy Cone's pool as if it was a real hotel. No water slides here at value resorts at Disney, unfortunately, but a nice small pool here. You'll see the main resort pool in just a second. And then I absolutely love the Wheelwell Hotel as an entrance to the 3rd building. Sarge's hut just appears to hide some sort of equipment for the hotel. You can't enter there. And then rounding out this section, Mater has his own section. And I do love his license plate being A113, which is the classroom that all of the Pixar animators met at in art school. And that art school was named CalArts. Tim Burton also went there, lots of Imagineers, plenty of folks that make some of the best content out there for you at Disney went to CalArts. So now let's explore the Finding Nemo section. So walking over from the cars section, you reach the drop-off, which is the pool bar. Wasn't open when I was walking around making this video before the pools were open, but they have a small food menu as well as cocktails and full beer. Laundromat here as well. And I love that all of the signs here are schools of fish, similar to the film. It's a very ocean-themed resort because you have this Finding Nemo section, and then you also have the Little Mermaid section that I'll show you towards the end of this video. The big blue pool is the main pool here, plenty of seating around this giant lagoon-style pool. Lots of splash pads for the younger kids. So this is a great family-friendly resort. Of course, all the Disney resorts are going to be family-friendly, but this one, minus not having a water slide, has a lot of water features that are made for, kids under 3, maybe that aren't swimmers yet. So that's really nice. And they have the zero entry section over here on the side. Nemo and his dad hanging out in the coral above the splash pad. Then around the pool are going to be a few games like ping pong, which is great. Lots of games that they also organize as part of those activities that you can consult the schedule when you check in and arrange that for maybe a non-park day. Two main buildings flanking the pool. You have Crush over there on the left, and then Mr. Ray over here on the right. And then in the middle is actually a smaller dry play area. So a lot of the value resorts have full playgrounds, usually unthemed, but I love the theme of this one with Squirt, Crush's son, one of his 200 sons or something like that, with a bunch of slides here for the younger kids. Now, as we leave the play area and the splash pad for the Finding Nemo section, there is another set of restrooms as you walk over to a defining feature of the Art Animation Resort. And this was added after the resort was opened. This is the Skyliner. So the Skyliner will take you to the Caribbean Beach Resort, which then you can transfer to the Epcot line or the Disney's Hollywood Studios line. So you have two theme parks that you can reach without having to jump on a bus. So very convenient. You can also use bus transportation from the front, but depending on where you stay, this might be a little bit of a quicker walk. Though when I walked by in the early morning, the line seemed quite long and you do have to transfer. So keep that in mind. It's not necessarily the quickest option. You do have free parking here at the resort now again, and you can park your car very close to these rooms. Saves you a walk. The Little Mermaid section that I stayed in was about a 6 or 7 minute walk, and I'm a very fast walker. But let's go check out now the Lion King section, one of my favorite films from back in the day. Overall, I think this is probably the least exciting, unfortunately, of the 4 sections. Just doesn't seem that there's a ton going on here, but you have a lot of these fiberglass figures representing all of the fun characters from The Lion King, like Rafiki here, and then some kind of circle of life painted art on the buildings. You have Pride Rock though, with Simba proudly there, which I like. This is probably my favorite section. And then you have Timon and Pumbaa walking across the log from the film too, which I was very surprised to see. Very, very cool. And actually younger Simba too. So a little bit of a time jump here at the Lion King section. There's another small play area, the Elephant Graveyard, with some of the hyenas, though no real slides or anything like that. It's just for running around. And then Scar is looming over everyone. And then Zazu as you exit this section, heading over to the Little Mermaid section. So this is the final section, lots more coral reefs, but in the style of the Little Mermaid film. So a very different feel here. I like how they mix Pixar and classic Disney animation. Both awesome, both mean a lot to a lot of people. And you can book these sections separately on the website, Disney's website, or through your travel agent. We are travel agents here at Jackson Jet Setting. We can help you with your next Walt Disney World vacation and handle all the details for you. So you can reach out to us at jacksonjetsetting.com/book to receive a free quote. So the theme of this section is basically from Under the Sea, the main song from the film. And you have all of the different who's its and what's its galore as you walk to the main pool. This is called the Flippin' Fins pool. And one side was a little under construction, at least the pathway, so I can't show you over there. Prince Eric's statue from the film is right there, and actually you can go snorkel with that at Castaway Cay as well. I've snorkeled past it. You can check out a video of Castaway Cay from Disney Cruise Line on the channel. King Triton framing one building, and you have Sebastian framing outside the pool area. Terrifyingly, Ursula is also a part of this, so if your kid's afraid of Ursula, I would request not staying in that building or going through the side exit. And as I mentioned before, you can take a look at the outside hallways of this section, so this is definitely a little bit different and left over from that first build period back in the early 2000s, late 90s. And Ariel framing my building that I stayed in. Here's another look at the Flipping Fins pool. Again, no water slides in this section. But I stayed in 8522, a ground floor room, and it is themed to Little Mermaid. So if you're a Little Mermaid fan, if you absolutely love this film, this might be your favorite room ever. Now, if you're a male on a review trip, staying alone without his family, you might feel like this is maybe not the theme for you, but overall, very fun theme. And I love that the table has the lyrics and the music from Under the Sea, but a lot of fun Little Mermaid theming throughout the room. I even love the bureau underneath the television because it does remind me of the bureau from the film that Ariel keeps in her area for the who's its and what's its galore, but a lot more art framing the bed. And the bed actually has a light that some of the seahorses are attracted to. Shell chairs there, 2 of them. Little coffee maker, always nice to have. Some Joffrey's drip coffee. Notice that the deluxe resorts here typically have an espresso machine or a Keurig machine, so here it's only drip coffee. And a small chiller here in the room for any leftovers, just keeping some coffees cool in the morning or something like that. Little octopus to hang various items and a little curtain to separate the room from the sink, which is helpful if someone's getting ready in the morning, someone else is trying to sleep. And then Prince Eric is framed here right next to the bed. And a fun little sandy theme to the one sink vanity. Little coral reef framed mirror there. And then as you walk into the bathroom, a very fun themed bathroom to Ariel. So you have a shower tub combo as is found in most Disney hotel rooms. And then her place with all of her who's its and what's its right here in the shower. Making our way back to the main building, there is a small business center with computers to print out any boarding passes if people still do that. And when I was there, they were meeting with characters. So characters will stop by in the morning, every morning, which is great for Cool Kids Summer. You can also look for a small Nala prop and get a fun little button that I got at the front desk. You have bus transportation to all the theme parks, as well as Disney Springs and direct bus service to Blizzard Beach, which not every resort has. So that's a nice feature of Art of Animation. You also get free water park access on the first day of your stay in 2025 and 2026. So I definitely took advantage of that and headed over to Typhoon Lagoon. The first bus of the day is actually a direct bus to Typhoon Lagoon instead of Disney Springs, which is very helpful to know. Did not know that before going in. But overall, that's my stay. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you on the next video.